Howdy gang, this is Pete the Roaming Prepper, and I've got an update on the Aerogarden for you. I'll be right back. Howdy gang, this is an update on the Aerogarden that I reviewed in my previous video. If you recall, the Aerogarden is basically a hydroponic type system. It has a multi-spectrum light built into a reflowing or circulating system. It comes with plant food and it comes with pods. You put the pods in the system, you fill it with water, you put some plant food, and it basically grows a little garden. It's a really neat concept if you live in an apartment or you have limited space, or if you want to start your plants before you pot them and you want to get those seedlings growing. This turned out to be a really neat solution. So I reviewed this originally in a previous video. As you can see, it had spots for 6 plants, and I'm going to give you guys an update on what exactly it looks like right now. So this is what it looked like after a couple of months. As you can see, the plants got really big. There's a couple of cups in there because I did have a couple of plants. One failed to grow, and the other one was basically subdued and died. The 2 plants you see me pulling out on the right are actually basil. You see the root system's very soft, very intricate, because it's only been exposed to water. This is a non-soil planting system. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the little cup and I'm going to put it in the hole to kind of preserve the water in there. The 2 basil actually grew prolifically. The basil actually wound up overcoming the sage and killed the sage, so I had to throw that one out. But as you can see, once you cover them up, I'm going to let the other plants continue to grow. I took it outside and I'm going to use raised bed soil. Now I did this specifically because it's meant for plants that are in pots. Now once I get the pots, I fill it with soil, I wet the soil, and I make a little divot in the middle. Now the reason I'm making that little divot is because I'm going to have to put those very gentle, soft, intricate roots into the soil. Now keep in mind, these plants have not been exposed to soil before. So the biggest challenge was getting the roots apart from that containing system, or that pod that is where they grew. I probably left the plants in a little too long, and so I had to battle that a little bit. I wound up cutting the pod apart on one. I pulled the plant out on the other, but I lost some of the root system. Once I got the plants into the pots, I mounded up the dirt around them. As you can see, that was the pod from the first plant. It tore up some of the roots, so the second one I just cut it, and I preserved the maximum amount of root in there. Now I originally recorded this outside, but there was a lot of wind, so I'm recording over it at the moment. But as you can see, I got 2 good-sized plants out of this. Now keep in mind, I've actually been using these plants as I trimmed them to keep them under control. I've actually been using the basil in recipes. This is a 100% homegrown indoor herb garden that I've basically created here with this system. The reason I did this outside was because the dirt and the water obviously will go everywhere, so I didn't want to make a mess in the house. It was a nice sunny day, it wasn't too hot. I'm going to bring the basil plants indoors after I'm done doing this. Now notice I mound up the dirt around the plants. Their roots should have plenty of room to grow. because remember, their root system was kind of consolidated in that Aerogarden. So hopefully they won't go into shock. The roots will spread into the soil, and ultimately I'm going to have some nice plants that I can continue to harvest and trim for an indoor herb garden. And there you have it, folks. I got 2 very nice basil plants. Hopefully they will continue to grow. I use them daily or weekly for different recipes. And I'll continue to plant those pods in the Aerogarden and maybe start some cilantro or some other herbs. Until next time, I hope this was helpful. If you can get your hands on an Aerogarden, they're a really good product. You guys take care and enjoy.